Next, we will explore the relationship between sine and cosine. Our approach will be, as the truck moves on the circle from 0 to 450 degrees, we will graph its coordinates as the sine and cosine functions. Then we will show how shifting one curve yields the other. The first graph in yellow is the sine function, and the second graph in blue is the cosine function. And from 0 to 90 degrees, the sine function increases and comes back to 0 at 180. And the cosine function starts at -1 at 180 and comes back to 1 at 360. The sine curve from 0 to 450 is on the left. The cosine curve from 0 to 450 degrees is on the right. Let's try to match the peaks where each curve is at 1. So we want to match the sine curve at 90, where its peak is at 1, with the cosine curve at 0, where its peak is at 1. If our guess is right, the curves will overlay each other. Let's see. After we match the peaks of the sine and cosine functions, both functions look the same. What we have seen is that sine of 90 plus x equals cos of x. So instead of thinking of them as two separate functions, we can think of them as just one function with the other being a close relative. This is a bit like time across the earth. Although the time is different in India and, say, Japan, knowing that the time in Japan is 6 p.m., we know that in 3.5 hours, which is the time difference between Japan and India, it will be 6 p.m. in India.